Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final gets going tonight here inside Rogers Place in Edmonton. Dennis Bernstein, Dave Pagnotta. Our coverage of the 2025 Stanley Cup Final is brought to you by Carlsberg, probably the best beer in the world. All right, DB. Some lineup changes.
Some lineup changes?
A lot of rejigging by the Edmonton Oilers, even though they won Game 4 to tie up this series. Victor Arvidsson back in the lineup. Kasperi Kapanen comes out. And Arvidsson goes on the fourth line with Janmark and Kane. We'll get to that in just a second. Calvin Pickard, he continues to play in net for the Edmonton Oilers.
Yeah, that's the right move. And not only changes up front, Dave, but on the bottom, on the defense. To me, the biggest move is, there's actually two moves. Stetcher played a little over 4 minutes in Game 4, and is going to come back in a lineup in Game 5. But Matias going to the third pair. Right? He came off the ice with about 2:14 left in regulation with the Oilers leading. Didn't get back on the ice until Reinhart scored with 20 seconds left. I would think Ekholm would be on the ice to defend that one-goal lead. Not the case, which tells you, look, he wasn't 100% coming in. He's probably still not 100%, and maybe that's why he's shuttled down to third pair duty to start the game.
Yeah. A couple other quick little adjustments that the Oilers are making. Podkolzin goes up to the second line with Leon Draisaitl and Corey Perry on the right side. First line stays the same, third line, well, it's everybody else.
Yeah, a reward for Podkolzin. Did tie the game, got the third goal. And Evander Kane had a really rough Game 4. Bad penalties. Wasn't the effective guy he was in Game 1. So not surprised that he's been shuttled down to the fourth line as well.
Florida Panthers, calm, cool, collected. That's what it seemed like earlier this morning when they addressed the media. They say that they're a Game 7 mentality type team. So they know there's a lot of runway left in this. We got at least 2 games left, possibly 3 in this series. But they're calm and they're confident they'll be able to rebound.
Yeah, I think Paul Maurice has to tell this team, look, we had a great 4 periods. We had great Game 3, a great first period in Game 4, gave up the lead, played great in overtime. Right? If you look at the chances, Dave, Bennett hitting the crossbar, They could have easily won that game. They don't lack in confidence. They think even if they lost tonight, they can go to Florida, win Game 6, come back in 7. So the one thing that they don't lack is confidence. So I wouldn't be surprised if they come in an extremely confident team tonight. They've won here before. They think they can win here again.
Will they? What's your call for tonight?
Well, I got the Oilers in 7. It's not going to shock anybody when I say the Oilers are going to win in overtime 5-4, and Leon Draisaitl, yes, Leon Draisaitl is going to score an overtime game-winning goal. Yeah,
I keep padding up those stats and record for Leon. I'm going to my original gut picks at the start of this Stanley Cup Final. I've got Florida taking Game 5. Mm-hmm. I'm 4 for 4 so far from the gut. I changed it last game, right at the last minute. I know, sure silly me. But in this one, I'm going back to it. Florida gets a 3-2 lead. Back to Sunrise to close things out. We will see how this goes. We will catch you after the game as well with post-game coverage here on TFP. Some quick news and notes around the National Hockey League. DB, we talked earlier this week about the Rangers not being done after moving Kreider to Anaheim. They're still having conversations involving a number of their players, including Mika Zibanejad, who had a nice farewell letter to his good buddy Kreider off now.
How sweet of him. That's
to the
so
OC.
Nice.
Very nice of him. The Pittsburgh Penguins as well, we touched on them, looking to sell off some pieces outside of Erik Karlsson, teams inquiring about Brian Rust, Ricard Raquel.
Sure.
Maybe L.A. re-engages with them now with Kenny Holland at the helm. But Calgary, also a team looking to add now, in addition to some other clubs that are out there. They have to figure out what's going on with Rasmus Andersson. They want to address the 2C position. So do a lot of teams like the Montreal Canadiens as well. But what do you see Calgary? This is a time to add, isn't it?
Yeah, it's time for Craig Conroy to be aggressive. They were so close to getting to the top 8. They just missed. So an added 2C, maybe another scoring winger. They could easily get to the top 8 next season.
One guy that they've poked around a bit on and off going back into the season has been Marco Rossi of the Minnesota Wild. He is still available. Obviously, Bill Guerin's not going to give him away for nothing, but they're still battling kind of from a contract side of things. They have time, but there are other teams that are inquiring about him, so we'll see kind of where that goes. We anticipate the Ducks being more aggressive, Columbus being more aggressive, Carolina being very aggressive this offseason. I reported earlier in the week that they are expected to go after Mitch Marner very aggressively. Don't be surprised if that number on an AAV comes in over $14 million. Wow. So we'll see kind of where that goes. Another club that's looking to free up a little bit of additional cap space, the New York Islanders. They've got just under $21 million in cap space, but they've got Alex Romanov and Noah Dobson to sign. That's going to eat a good chunk about $12 million of that.
At least.
So we'll see kind of what happens there. But they are looking around. Pierre Engvall is somebody with a $3 million cap hit that's available. And some teams poking around again on Jean-Gabriel Pagnotta.
Yeah, it's time for Matthew Darche to go to work, Dave. He's got
Yep.
the new job. He's got Pagnotta. I love Pagnotta as a 3C on a championship team. I really think he could be the missing link for some team that wants some jam at the bottom six. He can score. I really, really like that player in the 3-piece position for a contending team, although the Islanders still believe they're still a contender.
Yeah, well, they want to get to that, certainly to that level now with him there, with Darche there. So we'll keep tabs on that. We'll keep tabs on a lot going across the National Hockey League. It's going to be a busy few weeks going into the draft, going into free agency. But we got a lot of stuff to still talk about here as Game 5 is about to get underway. We'll catch you after the game. Dennis, Dave, this is our coverage of the Stanley Cup Final presented to you by Carlsberg.